All right, now we'll look at complex numbers. So complex numbers are a type of number that combines both real and imaginary parts. So both real and imaginary. You can think of them as numbers that live in two worlds at once. So the real number world and the imaginary number world. So if we have that real line and we have the imaginary line, right? A point in space right here would have both real and imaginary. So the real part and imaginary part, a complex number has two parts. So it's going to have a real part like -3 or -5 or 0.5. So this is going to be a real part. Then it's also going to have an imaginary part. So it's going to have imaginary part. So this is going to be like 2i or -4i or even 0.7i. So these are going to be your imaginary parts. So when you write the complex number, you write a complex number like this. So it's going to be a plus bi, right? Where a is real and bi is going to be imaginary. So for example, 3 plus 4i is a complex number, where 3 is the real and 4i is the imaginary. All right, so how they work. Complex numbers help solve equations that regular real numbers can't. So especially when you're dealing with the square roots of negative numbers. So for example, the equation of x squared equals -4 has no real solution. But with a complex number, we can say that the answer is x equals 2i or x equals -2i. Every complex number has a home, and on a special graph, since complex numbers have both a real part and an imaginary part, we can plot them on the graph with two axes. So the real axis is horizontal and the imaginary axis is vertical. So this graph helps us see and work with complex numbers visually. So complex numbers are used in science and engineering, especially in fields like electrical engineering, where they can help model things like waves and electrical currents. So even if they sound complex, they actually make it easier to solve certain problems.